Thank you for tuning in to tonight's game. Your game is coming up next. But here's some information from the Indiana High School Athletic Association.
6 easy ways to become an MVP. And by MVP, we mean most valuable parent. Like all of us, the parents of high school athletes tend to protect their children from adversity, or they overly involve themselves by advocating for their success. But when they do, they're negating the value of participating in high school sports. Among other lessons, high school sports teach teenagers to take nothing for granted, how to overcome obstacles, and that an extraordinary commitment of time and effort is required in order to reach goals and experience achievement. High school sports also encourage independence and self-sufficiency, attributes that are needed to be successful in life. It's natural for parents to love their children, and it's important to support them in as many ways as possible. With this in mind, here are 6 easy ways that you can be the MVP of your child's high school team. Number 1, attend your children's games as often as possible. Nothing demonstrates interest and involvement more than being there. And be sure to invite Grandma and Grandpa to come along with you. Number 2, cheer for all the kids on the team, not just your own. Here's a test for you. Do you know all the players on your child's team? Could you say hello to them by their first name? Embracing the entire team is a great way to show that your interest is sincere. Number 3, be a resource for your child's team. Does a teammate need help with transportation? Is the team trying to raise money for new uniforms? Is someone needed to organize a pizza party before the tournament starts? Maybe you can help. Number 4, try not to criticize the coach or the officials in front of your child. Hey, you're human, and there may be times when you need to vent. But be careful when and to whom you do it. Criticizing the coaching staff undermines its credibility and tends to put your child in the middle. And games are seldom won or lost because of an official's call. Remember, coaches and officials are objective. Most parents are not. Empower your child to talk with the coach about concerns. Everybody wants more playing time, and understandably so. But encourage your children to have that conversation with their coaches instead of you doing it for them. Giving teenagers the confidence and conviction to speak up for themselves is one of the greatest benefits of participating in high school sports. Number 6, focus on the life lessons your children are learning, not on win-loss records or how many points they're scoring. According to the NC2A, only about 2% of all high school athletes win a sports scholarship, and the average value of it is less than $11,000. But every child will benefit from the lessons they've learned as a result of participating in high school sports for the rest of their lives. It's difficult being the parent of a high school athlete. There's far more emotion and social pressure involved than is ideal. But if you follow these 6 pointers, not only will your children love and respect you, but so will their teammates and coaches. And you might even be named MVP. Thank you for your support of high school athletics in Indiana. Stay tuned now. The Indiana SRN game is next. Indiana SRN, where you're always in the game.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the campus of Lawrence North High School. where we have an exciting matchup tonight where it's the Roncalli Rebels facing off against the Lawrence North Panthers alongside my broadcast partner. I'm Charles Benberry. Thank you for joining me today. And, man, on paper, this should be a really, really good matchup. We have really two contrasting teams. One team getting hot as of late, the other team starting off hot and maybe fizzling off just a little bit, but they're still doing well. And that is Roncalli started off really well. Maybe you can say, quote-unquote, fizzling. Ellen has really found the groove since November. And we had a chance to talk to Coach during the JV game, and he said really that game starting December 1st, something really clicked with this team, and it really was just the team kind of gelling together.
Yeah, so right now you got two teams that really they're in different places, but they're coming together at the same time. With Lawrence North, I talked to their head coach. They're obviously the defending state champions, and with that comes a lot of hype. He felt that this specific team was maybe touted a little bit too much because of last year's team, and what happened was it took them a little bit. Now their schedule was tough, no doubt, but it took them a little bit to find traction as far as this year's specific team. And what's happened is it was right around the very 1st of December, they ran into the number one team in the state, and my mind's going Crown Point. And ever since the Crown Point game came around, and then he also credited the Carmel game, they found their identity right around then. So, that's their kind of story, and they've been 6-1 in their last 7 games, 8-2. They're both 8-2 actually coming into this game. With Roncalli, you got a different story. Roncalli, they've been kind of they got out to a quick start. They've only lost 2 games all year. Tim Gray, this is his first year. I can't imagine coming into this season being your first year as a head coach with all the COVID stuff going on. But he said that, he's having fun. This has been a great time for him, and through his assistant coaches, the transition has actually been pretty easy. So they played on December 12th, these two teams did, and Lawrence North kind of pulled away with that game. They just had a huge second quarter, and what Lawrence North can do is their pressure, their full court pressure, they can score in spurts, like really, really fast. And what happened was they pulled away in the second quarter, and then the rest of the game stayed about even. So what Roncalli's looking for is to stay away from having that happen again. They're going to try to break that press, make them slow down a little bit, because Lawrence North likes to play high paced on both sides. And Roncalli's going to try to play their game instead. They've worked on a lot of the breaking the presses and everything. So let's look to have a much, much better game this time around.
These two teams are familiar with each other. They played not too long ago, and Lawrence North ended up winning that game 61-45. Roncalli hung with them late in that game, but it really got out of hand with them in that first half, mostly due to the press that Lawrence North applied to Roncalli.
Right.
And talking to head coach, he said he's going to try that same tactic again tonight.
Yeah, he, hopefully they're not listening to it in the locker room, but no, it's they absolutely are going to see. They're going to check. He knows that they've been working on the press, but you know what? You have to try it anyway. Just because they work on it doesn't mean that they're going to be able to be as good as them. So he said that he's not afraid to come back out, try the same thing, but he's ready if they have improved. He's ready to play their game too. So it's going to be fun no matter what. You got two talented teams going at each other at a time where I think they're both ready to go on long winning streaks.
Nathan Stratton, Charles Benberry here, bringing you this Lawrence North versus Roncalli matchup. Tonight when we come back, we'll dive just a little bit deeper into this game. Make sure you stay tuned. You are watching Indiana High School Basketball on Indiana SRN. High School. Again, the Roncalli Rebels and the Lawrence North Panthers, are getting ready to face off. The Wildcats are set to face off in tonight's matchup. We talked a little bit about Lawrence North, Nathan.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're kind of going to go into Roncalli, and this Roncalli Rebels team is pretty balanced, but they have really one main scorer who is the head honcho, if you want to say, of this team, and that's Madeline Bishkoff. She's a 5'10 senior, averaging just about 20 points a game and 4.5 rebounds per game. She's had 5+ steals in 3 games so far this year. Her and her sister, if you want to add up their total, are averaging 27 points between the two. So, the sisters for Roncalli are really doing a nice job, and it has them off into a 10-2 start.
Yeah, Madeline is really, as she goes, she kind of takes the rest of the girls with her. And it seems like, all the good teams have a great, solid group of girls, but there's always one. There's always one that is just when you need to dominate and when you have a time to take over, you need that one person, and that person for this team is Madeline. In fact, if I'm reading this right, game scoring in double figures, she has scored 63 games in her career in double figures. That's absolutely amazing. Yeah. So they looked for her. I think as long as she's in the game and, whether it's effort or anything, she doesn't necessarily have to score. There's other things she could do. She's well-rounded. But the rest of the team will follow. And I think that she can be that calming storm for Roncalli when that pressure comes from LN. So I'm really looking forward to seeing the matchup between Madeline Bishkoff and Jayla Smith because, LN's got their kind of main person, too, in Jayla Smith. So the last time these two teams played, those two just absolutely led all other scorers with Smith for LN scoring 25 and Bishkoff for Roncalli scoring 15. So nobody else was in double figures for either team that game. So it really is going to be fun to watch those two go at it.
We talked about Bishkoff. She has 6 games where she scored over 20 plus this year.
Yeah.
One time where she scored over 30 in her career. She scored over 20 points 25 times and over 30 points 5 times in her career at Roncalli.
Yeah.
So she is definitely one of the leading scorers and one of the main people you're going to have to stop in this game. And as you mentioned, it's going to be Bishkoff versus Jayla Smith. It's going to be a really exciting matchup to watch those two go head-to-head. We are just about set to start the matchup between the Rebels and the Wildcats. We have the national anthem coming up. Nathan, we have starting lineups, and we have your keys to today's game. All of that will be coming up here shortly. Alongside Nathan Stratton, I am Charles Benberry. You are listening to Indiana High School Basketball on Indiana SRN.
Piper Group Warehouse has a strong commitment to their clients as their logistics provider. If you would like to discover how you can improve your service levels while lowering your overall cost, Piper Logistics Group can help. Call Greg Piper today at 317-396-3916. Piper Logistics Group.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 160,000 participants here in Indiana who take part in high school sports.
Never miss a big game by downloading the IHSAA TV app for free on any device. For your iPhone or Apple TV, check the App Store. On your Android or Android TV device, load up the Google Play Store. Have a Roku or Amazon Fire Stick? We have the app for you. Check us out on Facebook Live, Twitter, or YouTube Live by searching for IHSAA TV. Or as always, click to IHSAATV.org for quick and easy access to your favorite IHSAA live and archived events.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom.
On the diamond.
In the pool. On the field. Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah!
Be great.
Participate!
Welcome back to Lawrence North High School, where the Rebels and Wildcats are set to take off. And while they're doing our starting lineups, we'll go ahead and do the same as well. We'll start with the visiting Roncalli Rebels. Starting off at guard will be a 5'7" sophomore, number 23, Sydney Horton. At the other guard position, the leading scorer for the Rebels, 5'10" senior, number 24, Madeline Biscoff. At the other guard position will be her sister, a 5'8" sophomore, number 14, Savannah. At one of the forward spots will be a 5'10" senior who's averaging about 6 and 5 a game, number 20, Sophie Carr. And her sister will be at the other forward position, a 5'10" senior as well, averaging 4 and 3, number 21, Abby Carr. For the home team Wildcats, they're going to be led in the backcourt by number 24, their leading scorer, 6-foot guard, the senior number 24, Jayla Smith. Also at the guard position will be number 30, a 5'5" senior, Shamira Walker. Also in the starting lineup, forward/center, 5'10" senior, number 10, Sydney Hughes. At the other guard position, a 5'10" sophomore, Monica Williams. And at the forward position, a 5'9" sophomore, number 21, Linnea Early. Wildcats are going to get some help off the bench today, Nathan. They have one of their leading scorers, Anaya Graves, coming off the bench, coming off of a broken finger. Coach said she will play her first game of the year on a limited basis, but that's going to help the Wildcats team off the bench.
Yeah, and that's actually one of my points here. The Wildcats need to stay out of foul trouble because they only really run 7 deep, especially with anybody that plays down low. So they need to get off to a good start, as does Roncalli. And then it's just, can the Wildcats put the pressure on? Can they play with that pressure that LN is going to force them into? So
these two teams played off at the top of the month where Lawrence North won that 61-45. Can Roncalli get a victory tonight? Let's find out together as Lawrence North controls. They move the ball from your screen right to left. We'll start off early with the left corner three. That shot is no good from Lawrence North, but put up and in. And that is how this night is starting off with Lawrence North, striking first.
Yep, getting that key offensive rebound, being right in the right position. That's a problem when you're playing that 2-3 zone that Roncalli's playing. You have to get back in rebounding position. Otherwise, the Wildcats are going to be able to get 2 or 3 shots tonight.
Jayla Smith with that putback, her first 2 points of the game. You mentioned the 2-3 zone being deployed by the Wildcats. You see that as Roncalli tries to break it.
The Wildcats really they rely on their athleticism to get up and down the floor. That's how they were able to kind of win the first game as well.
Shot no good by Roncalli, but an offensive rebound is put up and in. That was by Sophie Carr, her first 2 points of the game, and this game is tied.
Again, that 2-3 defense, you have to get back into the right spot to rebound. Otherwise, you're going to give up those offensive boards.
And now Jayla Smith is going to be called for a carry, so the first turnover of the game heads to the Wildcats, or the Rebels will take over. So far, no full court press being deployed by the Wildcats.
Yeah, I think you're only going to see that when they score. So it's imperative that they hit their shots and are able to deploy that defense.
A lot of perimeter passing for the Rebels as the 2-3 zone is working early.
But you don't see the ball being dribbled, so that's good. They're running their motion offense right now. Not a lot of dribbling, but you got a lot of movement, so that's good.
Biscoff's first attempt of the night is an air ball.
That was a great box out there by Walker. You saw it looked like Sophie Carr was going to get in there for another rebound, but Walker used her body and boxed that out. It was a little thing, but that was huge.
Monica Williams brings the ball up the court for the Wildcats, now in the hands of Smith. Smith finds a teammate, that's Walker. She sets the screen and now allows Williams to come off of it. Back to Walker. Roncalli defense stout so far as they almost get the turnover, and before Biscoff can get on the fast break, a foul's going to be called on Lawrence North. Let's see who that foul is on.
Looks like it was Sydney Hughes.
It is. It's going to be her first personal foul, the team's first.
So far, Roncalli has really, held them on the defensive end, and when that happens, LN can't get into their full court pressure. So it's kind of a win-win right there for them.
Ball is inside the post to Sophie Carr, and she is going to be fouled as she puts the shot up. So she'll be at the free throw line for 2.
See, and that's what I like right there. Roncalli was able to get it to the free throw line. That's the place you want to get it and facilitate the ball from there against the zone. So once you get it to the free throw line, that engages all 5 defenders, and now somebody should be able to kind of sneak in there and get free.
Sophie Carr on the year, a 46% free throw shooter, only taken 13 free throws so far. So with that, she is at 50%, looking to up the free throw percentage, and she does as she knocks down a pair. 4-2 is our score. Roncalli leads, all 4 points in the hands of Sophie Carr for the Rebels.
Looks like Roncalli might have gone back to man-on-man right there.
Shot is up and no good by the Wildcats. Here come the Rebels in transition. Sophie Biscoff Euro steps, is not called for a foul with the layup, but the Rebels do keep it. It now leads to a corner. Swing over to Maddie Biscoff as she terminates the dribble. Finds a wide open corner 3, and that is good. Abby Carr, we'll see if they call that a 3. Looks like they called it a 2, so a 2-pointer by Abby Carr, saying a foot was on the line. Regardless, the Carr sisters powering the Rebels to a 6-2 lead early.
Yeah, they may have missed that one because I didn't think that was even close. Ooh, nice job. Good ball movement.
Good pick and roll by the Wildcats. Williams, couldn't finish that. Here come the Rebels. That was Walker, on the shot attempt by the Wildcats. On the other end, another up and layup is good by the Rebels, and that is Sydney Horton, her first 2 of the game. And before Jayla Smith can get to a left-handed layup, a reach-in foul is going to be called on the Rebels. Foul is going to go on Savannah Biscoff, her first personal.
I really like how Roncalli is attacking the basket. I mean, not only are they high percentage shots, but you're really, you want to get LN in foul trouble. So I really like what Roncalli is doing on both sides of the court right now. Nice pass. Oh, my goodness.
Wildcats can't complete the N1, but a foul is going to be called on the floor on the Rebels.
Sydney Horton, maybe?
It's going to go on Horton, her first personal, and Wildcats will inbound the ball once again under their own basket. Top of the key is now Jayla Smith. She has the only scoring for the Wildcats. She has 2. She's being guarded up top by Savannah Biscoff. Step back 3 is no good, rebounded by the Rebels.
Since Roncalli went to the man-on-man defense, they haven't missed an opportunity to rebound that ball. So I really like where they're at.
Smith on the steal, and she is fouled as her shot attempt is up. That looks to be on Sophie Carr, her first personal.
Well, if you're going to foul, you might as well get your money's worth. I mean,
that's what coaches tell you.
Wow.
Just a reminder, you can catch all of these games and others on our YouTube channel at Indiana SRN. Our goal is to get at least 1,000 subscribers by the new year. We are so close. So make sure you become that 1,000th subscriber. If you do, a gift card will be sent your way. So, again, make sure you subscribe to us at Indiana SRN if you have not already done so.
So don't tell Keith, but I've actually not subscribed just so I can be the 1,000th one.
Oh.
I'm holding out.
Well, let's hope he's not listening.
He's not listening. He's got other things to do. He's big time.
Jayla Smith knocks down a pair of free throws. She has all 4 of the Wildcats' points. Score is now 8-4 as the Rebels trying to beat this 2-3 zone.
You know what? And the more that LN brings out the pressure closer to half court, the Roncalli is going to have more room to work. So I don't know that's going to be a good idea for very long for LN. Great move.
Monica Williams drives with the left hand. Shot is no good, but a shot is up by Ariel Helm. Before she can get the shot up, she is going to be fouled.
Yeah, Sophie Carr's got 2 now, I think.
That is 2 on Carr, so her sister's already checked out, might be set to check back in. We'll see what Coach Tim Gray wants to do after this free throw attempt as Helm rattles it in. Checking into the game will be number 22, Emma Halter, and also number, I believe it's 31, Ainsley Newitt. Helm knocked down the first free throw attempt. Her second attempt is no good, rebounded by Halter.
That was the first free throw missed today by either team, so you know we're in Indiana when when every free throw goes down almost. Great job.
Roncalli beats the 2-3 zone, but his shot is no good. A late foul is called. Abby Carr was trying to get a layup. They're going to call the foul. Ariel Helm on the Wildcats. That's going to be her first personal, and that'll put Abby Carr, on the free throw line on the year for her. She is a 60% free throw shooter, only shooting 15 on the year.
Yeah, it was a little late. I don't know that was supposed to be his call, but I think he saw something from a better angle there. So,
regardless of that, she will take the free throw attempts. She knocks down her first free throw, and her second one is no good. Helm with the defensive rebound. Point guard duties this trip will be Monica Williams. She surveys the court, swings over to the near side. Now in the hands of Jayla Smith.
I love the ball movement on both sides.
Ooh. Helm is on the left block, and she is going to be fouled inside the paint. That's going to be on Abby Carr. So the Carr sisters combined have 3 personal fouls, Nathan. You mentioned don't get in foul trouble for the Wildcats. That seems to now be the issue for the Rebels.
Well, I mean, I think the Rebels have more bodies to throw out there, but having said that, you never want your starters to be in foul trouble.
The matchup we wanted to see, Smith versus Biscoff. Smith gets the better end this time. She has 6 of her team's 7 points, and they trail by 2, 9-7.
Again, great job getting it. See right there, great job getting it into the free throw line, and that just puts somebody out of defensive position.
Driving the lane is Williams, and another foul is going to be called on the Rebels. I think this is going to go on either Horton or it's actually going to go on Ainsley Hewitt. I thought it was going to go on her or Horton, but they're going to give it to Newitt. That's going to be her first personal, and this is going to put Monica Williams on the free throw line. She has a chance to tie this game as she knocks down 1 of 2.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, they missed the layup on the other side, but the way that they're attacking the basket, they're getting it to the free throw line to facilitate it against this zone. LN has played exclusive zone throughout the game. So if they keep doing that, and if they're able to actually start hitting their shots, as we see the first full court press of the night, we may see that coach take them out of that zone if they can either shoot their way out of it or facilitate their way out of it.
Coach said that his girls worked on that full court press since that game. They got through it for the first time, can't complete the shot on the offensive end. Here come the Wildcats. looking for the first lead with Monica Williams.
As far as taking care of the ball, they've done a great job. I don't see them being rattled with any kind of pressure so far.
Trying to find Helm in the post. She has a size advantage over Emma Halter. They can't find her. Leads to a Smith drive as she puts up a wild shot. Halter controls the board.
Yeah, they definitely need to come back down and take care or take advantage of that size differential.
Halter in the corner terminates the dribble. Now swings over to her teammate in the hand of Sydney Horton. Just over 60 seconds to go here in this first quarter. The score is tied at 9 apiece. As that ball is knocked out of bounds by the Wildcats. We have some breaking news, Nathan, that I need to get on air. You guys listen to us super quick, and we have hit our 1,000th subscriber
I missed
on YouTube.
it.
You did.
No, I didn't. You're kidding.
The winner is Aiden Potter. So, Aiden, if you are listening to us, you need to contact Indiana SRN to get your gift card. Congratulations on being our 1,000th follower. As a great pass inside, and that leads to an easy layup. That is Jordan Hendricks, who checked into the game during that dead ball timeout. She gives the Rebels the lead at 11-9.
Well, that's exciting. Congratulations, Aiden. Way to go, buddy.
On the other end, Monica Williams drives, puts up the shot, no good. Offensive rebound goes to her, no good. Another offensive rebound. Here's Helm for a corner three in the lead. That's no good. Offensive rebound once again goes to the Wildcats. And here's Jayla Smith.
This is starting to turn into something that is a problem for Roncalli, and that is the offensive boards that LN is getting. They've got to now. When they went to man, they picked up a few in a row, but since then, man, it's just been a complete domination on the glass for LN.
And it was a turnover. Jump ball is going to be called. Possession will go to the Rebels, so counted as a turnover, and now the Rebels have an opportunity for the last shot, 15.2 on the clock. And here's that full court press once again.
They're doing a great job of getting it into the spots that are kind of the soft spots for the for any kind of a trapping defense. Even though right there you throw it into the corner, you got to get it out of there quick. 3 seconds.
Here's Williams, half-court shot. She'll take at the buzzer.
Oh, that looked good.
From our vantage point, it did look good, but it's going to fall out. The Rebels have the 2-point lead at half, or at the end of the first quarter, 11-9. Second quarter action is next. You're listening to Indiana High School Basketball on Indiana SRN.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the Indiana SRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Life comes at you fast, so it's important to have some help along the way.
Ah, my favorite patient. Ah, my favorite patient.
When the dust settles, it doesn't always end as anticipated. Embrace the journey and care for the ones around you.
My favorite patient.
For everything else and every stage in between,
my favorite patient.
Methodist Sports Medicine is here for you.
Start of the second quarter here at Lawrence North High School alongside Nathan Stratton. I'm Charles Benbury. Thanks for spending your Tuesday night with us here. Great high school basketball action underway. The Rebels lead the Wildcats 11-9. We'll reset the lineups for you as we go. As now top of the key and shot fake is Anaya Graves, who's checked in for her first action of the year. Graves drives left-handed before she can get going. The whistle is blown, and a 3-second call is going to be called on the Wildcats.
Yeah, Washington Cobb. I think she thought she was out of the zone because she didn't really look. She just started backing up, anticipating a shot right there that never came. So here's that press again.
Rebels do beat it as a whistle is blown on the court for the Wildcats. Anaya Graves, Jayla Smith, Monica Williams, Ariel Helm, and also Michaela Washington Cobb for the Rebels on the court. Savannah Biscoff controlling the ball is Sydney Horton currently. Jordan Hendricks is on the court. Madeline Biscoff. And also Abby Carr. So Madeline Biscoff takes a 3. She's 0 for 2 in the night. Helm controls the board for the Wildcats. Here's Jayla Smith. Left-hand dribble, hesitation move, spins. Now finds Helm top of the key. Helm drives right hand, gets inside the paint. No good. Rebounded by Abby Carr. Here come the Rebels on the fast break. Biscoff penetrates, free throw line jumper. Tough shot. Wow. But she gets her first 2 scoring points of the game, and that's a tough shot there, Nathan.
Yeah.
Especially at the free throw line with 2 hands in her face.
Right. You know, she's used to being contested, double teams and everything like that. But the fact that that's her first score and her team is still winning, that's a good sign for Roncalli.
Jayla Smith, hesitation, step back jumper. So
that was smooth.
She matches a tough jump shot with one of her own. And Jayla Smith up to 8 points so far for the Wildcats.
That was just as good as you can get of breaking that press.
Biscoff misses her shot, gets her own lane, count the basket. Show me the line for one more, and now you're starting to see the energy from Madeline Biscoff pick up just a little bit. Kind of quiet in that first quarter. Already has 4 starting off the second.
Yeah, and, you know, I still think her presence was felt during that first quarter. It was just, you know, her shots weren't falling yet. This is something that can really help, though, right? When a shooter is struggling, get to the line.
Yep.
You know, find that rhythm back. And now we're seeing that back and forth between Biscoff and Smith that we were really anticipating early on. I think, you know, this is just going to be a treat going out the rest of the way with those two going at it.
Biscoff knocks down the free throw attempt. 5 points all in the second quarter for her. Her team up 5, 16-11. Mass substitutions for the Wildcats. Controlling Jayla Smith, looking to get the ball inside to Sydney Hughes, who is also a starter, as Jayla Smith gets another 2 points for the Wildcats, and you can just see her dominance that she's showing against the Rebels as Madeline Biscoff, nice Euro, left hand.
Back and forth with Smith and Biscoff, just like we thought.
This is what everyone here in the stands wants to see. Tempo picking up just a little bit as Williams falls down. Here comes Madeline Biscoff. Top of the key. She'll pull from 3. Heat check. Someone get the fire extinguisher. She's hot. Timeout Wildcats.
You know, when she stopped at the half-court line, I was a shooter in high school, and I could just tell. You know, I'm setting this up.
Full timeout by the Wildcats. We'll take one as well. Biscoff, 10 quick points, and they're up 8 here at Lawrence North High School.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 160,000 participants here in Indiana who take part in high school sports.
Second quarter points by Madeline Biscoff has propelled her team to an 8-point lead early here, 21-13 with 5:40 to go here in the second quarter alongside Nathan Stratton, a.k.a. the Doc. I forgot I'm supposed to call you the Doc. I'm Charles Benberry, and if you want to dissect the play here going on so far, Biscoff has really stepped up her game, and the Rebels have led to offense starting with their defense.
Yeah, it's really to me, it's been great ball movement on both sides, and you've got the same kind of flow going between Smith and Biscoff. This is as good as it can get right here. I love this style of basketball.
Monica Williams on the drive inside, no good. Shot up by Sydney Hughes, and so she'll get an attempt to get her first 2 points of the game. The Wildcats.
You know, I really like it. If you look at the body types out there, Sydney Hughes is just, she's strong. She's as strong as an ox out there. And I really think that they could use her a little bit more down low, if nothing else, to get her on the line, get some of the Rebels in foul trouble. You know, she's athletic, she's quick, she's good with boards. I just think that maybe they could go through her a little bit more down low.
a 5'10 senior for the Wildcats, as she goes 1 of 2 from the line. Lanaya Early gets the offensive rebound. Monica Williams thought about a jump shot. Instead finds an easy 2 points inside, and that is Shamaria Walker, So instead of getting 2 points, they get 3 points on that trip there, as the Rebels' lead is cut down to 5.
That was a great entry pass, one that I'm sure made the coach's heart kind of skip a beat, but great vision right there.
Silly pass by Madeline Biscoff leads to a turnover and a foul for the Rebels. That foul going to go on Sydney Horton, so she will check out. Emma Halter and Abby Carr will check into the game, and that also leads to a 1-and-1 attempt by Jayla Smith. Jayla Smith already in this game has 10 points for the Wildcats, as she cannot knock down the 1-and-1 attempt.
Yeah, it's been interesting to also see how LN has backed off the pressure. Their last 2 shots they've made, they've called off the full court pressure, though they do seem to pick up Roncalli. Nice block there at half court still. So they haven't called it completely away, but they're not going to the full court. I mean, Roncalli had no problems with it.
And when you see them not doing the full court press, they are trapping once you cross that half court line. So coach is still finding ways to put pressure on this Roncalli team, as Biscoff off one leg, no good. Rebounded by the Wildcats and Jayla Smith, and a reach-in foul is going to be called. I believe that's going to go on Abby Carr, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. And, you know, I really like how Biscoff is able to get the ball off super quick. So it's like you time up that jump to block a shot, but she gets it off kind of sneaky fast. So it's kind of hard to get up and try to block her shot.
Another 1-on-1 attempt for the Wildcats, no good once again, but rebounded inside the paint, up and good. That's Sydney Hughes, and Hughes has made this a 3-point game.
Yeah, I just don't think Roncalli has anybody, at least out there right now, that can match her physicality down low.
Biscoff, free throw line runner, no good, and rebounded by the Wildcats. The defensive pressure is picked up, and the tempo seems to be leading into the Wildcats' favor.
Yeah, they've got a lot of good ball handlers over there.
Smith inside to Hughes. Hughes loses the ball, and that's going to be a turnover Wildcats. So we talked about that pressure by the Wildcats. They're trapping, and that's making the Rebels kind of move the ball a little quicker when they're what they want, and their Rebels are passing the ball, doing it, bouncing it, but that also gives the defense more time to try to go for that steal.
Yeah, I mean, and I think if you're Roncalli, you're still okay with what you're doing as long as you don't see a lot of dribbling. You know, you see a lot of ball movement, maybe 1 or 2 bounces and then a pass. That's what you want to see. If you see a lot of dribbling around, that's when you get in trouble. Kind of like right there.
Emma Halter controls the ball as she looks and turns the ball over. Here comes Jayla Smith. Smith, easy right-hand layup. And for her, that is 12 points early. And what was a 8-point lead has now shriveled down to 1, as now another steal by Jayla Smith. She'll pull a left corner 3 in front of the Roncalli bench.
Wow.
And that is a timeout by the Rebels. So the star power for Roncalli got them to an 8-point lead. Jayla Smith said, hold my water.
Yeah.
Gets the lead back to 2 points for the Wildcats, their first lead of the game.
Yeah, and you know what? You hate it as a coach to see you get down because of lazy passes. Passes should always be championship passes, is what I used to call them, those crisp, with purpose passes. And right now you're seeing kind of here, you just take the ball kind of pass. And anytime you see that against a team that is good at pressuring the ball, you're going to have a lot of turnovers. And like we said at the beginning, LN can score a ton of points quick. They were down, I think, 8, and now you look up the scoreboard, they're up 2. I mean, it was just like that. So, I like the half court pressure better than I like their full court pressure right now.
10-0 run by the Wildcats. Most of that scoring coming from Jayla Smith and Sydney Hughes. And again, so now it kind of looks like a 1-2-1 or 2-1-2 press, excuse me. And so now the Rebels have to figure out a way as Biscoff gets to the lane and can't end the run. That one was in and out,
Yeah.
so she's cooled off a little bit after her 10-plus scoring run herself, and now an easy left-hand layup this time. It's Monica Williams, and now points just seem to be, as you mentioned before, in that first game, they kind of came just in spurts, and now is a spurt of the Wildcats.
Yeah, and you know what, though? Even if you're Roncalli, you're getting shots from the paint, you're still okay.
Lanaya Early has a steal. Jayla Smith can't knock down the three, rebounded by the Rebels.
That was a good job of not giving up another offensive board.
Emma Halter swings ball to Madeline Biscoff, top of the arc three, backboard no good. Roncalli gets the rebound, back to Biscoff. Biscoff drives, left hand, scoop, good. That ends the 10-0 run by the Wildcats, and it's back to a 2-point deficit for the Rebels. Williams drives left hand, off the backboard, no good. Rebound, Madeline Biscoff. Fast break, free throw line, bounce pass, paint, tied up.
Great job.
Pass to her sister, Savannah. She has her first 2 points of the game. And with under 2 minutes to go here, this is tied up at 25 apiece. Early gets the screen, now an easy left-hand layup. You heard them call for the switch. They didn't do a good job switching, and that led to Lanaya Early getting her first 2 points of the game and the lead tilting back over to the Wildcats.
I really, like, on both sides, I love the fact that we're seeing layups. I mean, you're seeing they're not settling for bad shots. There's no shot clock. Just work the ball around, be comfortable in your offense and take a good quality shot.
Savannah Biscoff swings over to the far side in the hands of Ainsley Newitt.
Oh.
And try to get an entry pass into Savannah Biscoff. And you can see some players, they look tired out there on the court, Nathan. Their hands are on their knees and they're out of breath, but coach needs them to go for just another minute here and keep this game close as we have a mass substitution. Right now there's 6 on the court. Madeline Biscoff will head over to the sideline. She was one of those that were super tired. So let's see if Roncalli can keep this game somewhat close or have the lead going into half with their best player out on the bench.
Yeah, and they were able to sustain her first quarter shooting slump. So let's, it looks like they're okay tonight handling that pressure.
Savannah Biscoff's three is no good. Here's Jayla Smith. She gets the ball stolen. 3-on-1 Rebels. Bounce pass and an easy layup. No, excuse me, blocked by Monica Williams.
She played possum there. That was great.
But a steal by the Rebels. It leads to an empty-handed possession on three. And now Ariel Helm with the rebound. She's going to be fouled. That foul looks to be on Jordan Hendricks. If so, that's going to be her first personal. I'll have her down for one. Oh, that's going to be her second personal, Second personal foul for Hendricks, so Helm will go to the line.
Yep.
And with the team's 10th, should be the double bonus for the Wildcats. Helm's first free throw attempt is good. She's got 2 points on the night so far. A 5'11 junior for the Wildcats. Plays a forward position. She's going to be good if she can continue to build on her success that she has going on here, and that can lead to some early success next year for the Wildcats.
Yeah, I mean, she plays great on both ends. She's super strong. She's got great dribbles. She's got good hands, good footwork. She's going to be a special player.
She's 2 for 4 from the free throw line today. Emma Halter picks up the dribble in the corner, which is a no-no. Fortunately for the Rebels, they save the ball, and now a foul. Foul's going to be called on the Wildcats. I believe that's going to go on Nia Graves. It's going to lead to a 1-on-1 opportunity for the Rebels. On the line is going to be Sydney Horton.
Yeah, I didn't really he must have called body checking there, but gives them 1-on-1 at least.
For Horton, as she knocks down that first free throw attempt, 66% free throw shooter on the year. One of the better shooters for the Rebels at the free throw line.
You know, if I was coach, I would seriously consider taking Biscoff off the floor, Madeline, for this defensive possession here. just maybe try to keep her out of foul trouble. Obviously he's going to keep her in here, now, but looks like Ellen's going to settle for that last shot with 12 left.
9 seconds to go. Ellen runs their offense in the hands of Anaya Graves. Quick pass, Monica Williams off a couple screens. She'll drive left hand, right hand scoop is good.
That's the second time she's done that, where she'll start stepping with her, to get into that layup motion, and she'll hold the ball like a running back, and she'll protect it. And then, once it's time to shoot, she'll kind of, put it in her right hand. That's just a great job of playing strong basketball.
Strong quarter by the Wildcats, leads to a 3-point lead for them at halftime. Make sure you stay tuned and stay with us after. You're listening to Lawrence North and Roncalli Basketball on Indiana SRN.
Every day, we go farther, try harder, and do things others think are impossible. But for people who are passionate about what they do, it's normal. At Ortho Indy, we make sure of it. As the largest sports medicine group in Indiana and the official orthopedic provider for the Pacers, our specialists work to treat your injury from diagnosis to recovery and get you back in the game, because you were built to perform. Ortho Indy Sports Medicine, helping you get normal back, whatever your normal looks like.
Piper Group Warehouse has a strong commitment to their clients as their logistics provider. If you would like to discover how you can improve your service levels while lowering your overall cost, Piper Logistics Group can help. Call Greg Piper today at 317-396-3916. Piper Logistics Group.
There's no greater anti-poverty measure than to give a person a job. That helps them start to change that trajectory.
Morales Group is a full-service staffing company that provides temporary labor in the Indianapolis, Central Indiana market.
It was a challenge that was given by my father. He wanted me to give back much more than I had been. Then I realized that when he said more, he wanted me to see how I could give more. And it wasn't just in money, but in time and in services. And that's how the Morales Group was created.
I started off at Morales Group as an intern. I interned for 3 years before going on full-time staff here. What I love most about Morales Group is that big family aspect. I come from a big family in Mexico, and since the company is continuously growing, I feel like there's always a new member of the family that I get to know.
We're willing to give. We're willing to serve others, and we're not expecting something in return.
Come talk to us. We would love to work with you.
Your home and office make up a big part of your world. Sometimes trying to manage it all on your own can make you feel like you have the weight of the world on your shoulders. And when the weight of the world is on your shoulders, you need a strong back or two to come to your rescue and haul your stress away. You need the College Hunks. Whether it's time to clear some space for new memories, to reinvent the room around you, or to simply pack up and move into a fresh new beginning, you can count on the Hunks to bear your burden so you don't have to. Let us move you today.
Bertner Electric Incorporated has been proudly serving our residential and commercial customers with quality electrical repair for over 33 years. We are fully licensed and insured in electrical wiring and electrician service packages. You'll receive a competitive assessment, whether you're a homeowner or a business owner, first-time or long-time customer. We offer free estimates for any new project. Call our licensed and experienced electricians today.
Welcome back to Lawrence North High School. It's halftime here, where the Wildcats and Rebels are in a tight matchup. Wildcats lead 30-27. And Nathan, we had an exciting first half. That first quarter only had a total of about 19 points, or 21 points, excuse me, between both teams. Exploded to 30-27 here the second quarter, and it was all led by scoring for the Wildcats with 15 points, and as we expected, Jayla Smith.
Yeah, it's Jayla Smith's got 15, Bishkoff's got 12, and it's exactly kind of what we thought. Now, I will say, though, I feel like this game is a game of spurts where, you got, like Bishkoff goes, MIA in the first quarter, and then all of a sudden she takes over for a 5-minute spurt that just nobody can stop her. Jayla Smith, she had 6 points in the first quarter. 2 of them were off free throws. So, I mean, she didn't have a great first quarter, but then they both kind of went at each other for, that little spurt. But it just feels like, when LN was dominating, Roncalli had a hard time answering. And when Roncalli was attacking, LN kind of let their defense down a little bit. I really feel like the factor that's causing the most issue for either team is the fact that LN can get on that offensive board as much as they have. So if I'm Roncalli right now, I talk about 2 things in the locker room. I talk about the offensive boards that LN's been able to get, and then I talk about my passing. I feel like while they may have been doing a good job of getting to the spots where they can't be trapped on the court, they throw away all of that hard work by below average passes. I mean, those passes are just so tentative. So you see that they've been working on it, but you also see there's a couple kids out there for Roncalli that this game is moving a little faster than it is for some of the others. So, those are the 2 things I would kind of hit on if I was Roncalli's coach. And you know what, if I'm LN's coach, I don't know how much you do different because I feel like once they started going down low to Sydney Hughes, things started really working for them, and that opened up some outside stuff too. So I would look for them to continue to do that. I like their game. I like their style, their attack. Both teams are getting great shots, and that's kind of what you want as coaches. So, we knew this was going to be, a fun night, and, it stinks that it's already at halftime, but it's been a blast to watch so far.
We saw a little bit of the press by the Wildcats in that first half. We'll see if we can see a little more of it here in the second half. Let's break down the scoring for both squads. For the visiting Roncalli Rebels, again, led in scoring with 12 points total by Madeline Biscoff. Again, all of her 12 coming in that second quarter. Also scoring for the Rebels is Jordan Hendricks. She had 2 points along with Savannah Biscoff. Sophie Carr had 4. Her sister Abby had 3. And Sydney Horton had 3 points as well for a total of 27 for the Wildcats. Led in scoring by none other than their leader, senior guard Jayla Smith. She had 15. A lot of her scoring again coming in that second quarter as well. She had 9 in the second. Also scoring, Monica Williams has 6 points. Sydney Hughes has 3. Ariel Helm has 2. Lanaya Early and Shamira Walker each have 2 apiece, which led to our total score of 30. You mentioned a little bit about the second half adjustments for both teams. Well, again, we'll see if that full court press and the trapping will continue for the Wildcats in that third quarter. For the Rebels, again, it's more of really just trying to get past that half court press. Full court press, excuse me. I figured they got through that pretty well. It's really the trapping, and you mentioned the tentative passing, not sure where to make the ball and making crisper passes. But again, if you're Coach Tim Gray in your first year, you have to be pleased with you're only down 3. And again, in the first game, that game got out of hand in that first half. You kept it together in the first half. Got to do the same here in the second.
Yeah, and, I think in a lot of ways Roncalli may have outplayed LN. It's just that a few of those layups didn't fall. But, hey, give all the credit to LN for putting pressure on the ball and making the game move as fast as possible for Roncalli. So, it's going to be a great second half. We'll see, what storylines kind of come out. And I think, LN should stay in that half-court press because it was much more effective than the full court.
1-3-1 zone is going to be first deployed by the Wildcats here as Savannah Biscoff picks up her dribble, finds her sister right corner 3, and that's how this third quarter starts. A 3-pointer by Madeline Biscoff. Lead back over to the Rebels.
Yeah, and again, that the 2 crisp passes with purpose. So I like the way they came out of the gates.
Inside to Hughes, and Hughes muscles her way to 2 points. Or excuse me, that was...
Yeah, it was Hughes.
Yep, Hughes.
And, I think that Roncalli doesn't have an answer for that. So you should keep going to that. Play the inside-out game if you really want to go with a couple of three-pointers or jumpers. But dump it down to Hughes first and play the inside-out.
Lanai Early picks up the early foul for the Wildcats, her first personal.
Let's see what you did there.
Roncalli runs a set play, finds Biscoff right corner 3. That is no good. Rebounded by Monica Williams.
I really like Williams and how strong she is with the ball.
Her size does play an advantage, a 5'10 sophomore guard as Early rattles out a 3. Here comes Madeline Biscoff for the Rebels. Quick pass over in the corner. Good shot fake. Step back 3. Just short. Knocked out of bounds by the Wildcats. Possession will stay with the Rebels. Abby Carr thought that 3 was going in.
It looked like it from here. That's 2 possessions in a row out of the gate that Roncalli had that they were sure about themselves. They had great passes. Lots of ball movement, lots of movement away from the ball. So I really like what they're doing out of the gate.
Free throw line jumper by Carr, no good. Rebounded by Smith, as her team has the early 2-point lead to start off this third quarter.
LN just has such good ball handlers. See, there's that inside-out game. At least get it inside. If you want to take a 3 right there, that's fine. They're not all going to look like that. But go through your player down low that they can't do anything about. And there's a travel.
Traveling is going to be called on the Rebels, so a turnover for the Rebels as Abby Carr turns it over. 2 minutes down in this third quarter. Rebels have scored 3 points. Wildcats have scored 5. Or 2, excuse me. Jayla Smith step back off of one leg is short. Rebounded, though, by the Wildcats. Walker's going to drive, floater inside the lane, no good. Rebels control. Here comes Biscoff.
I know Jayla Smith is the main player right now for LN.
Madeline Biscoff gets the offensive rebound. Her shot is blocked. And here come the Wildcats and Monica Williams. Left-hand dribble. Finds Walker, top of the key. Wanted to take that 3. And Williams hesitates, drives right-hand scoop. No good as she tripped to the lane. Here come the Rebels. 3-on-1. And they turn the ball over, and here's Jayla Smith. She finds Anaya Early as they break the full court press inside to Walker. Walker can't complete. Here come the Rebels once again. Madeline Biscoff slows down. She'll pop the 3. That shot short, rebounded by Lanaya Early, and you can start to see some of the fatigue here as Wildcats
definitely
are walking it up.
It takes quite a bit to pressure, the way that they pressure, and they do a great job on the defensive end. It usually leads to points on the offensive end, Right now, you've got a tired group of Wildcats. So let's see if Coach notices that and either calls a timeout or gets some fresh bodies in there. Or even just switches up the defense. 'Cause, I mean, at least for a couple possessions.
Monica Williams knocks down, yes, sir. Knocks down a mid-range jumper. Lead extended to 4, 34-30.
Love it. Ball to the free throw line. Great job.
That three-point attempt is knocked in by Sydney Horton. She has 7. And the lead is trimmed down to 1.
I think you're seeing a lot more quality possessions out of both teams right now. They're getting good looks.
Smith can't rattle in a 3.
Nice.
But offensive rebound put up and in by Sydney Hughes. Good patience down there on the left block.
Kind of get back to what I was saying before. I know Smith is their main player. I feel like Hughes is more of their she's just the thing that makes everything go. Great job on offense there by Roncalli.
Great backdoor cut there by Abby Carr. Moving without the ball. Coaches preach that in practice.
Yeah.
And it leads to 2 points by the Rebels, and they again trim this lead down to 1.
And you always run that risk playing zone, because you have to have constant communication so that doesn't happen.
Williams' corner 3 is no good. Rebounded by the Rebels, looking for the lead once again.
That's 3 possessions in a row with a shot from the exact same spot.
And before Biscoff can get off a left-hand layup, a foul is going to be called on the floor on the Wildcats. That foul is going to go on Shamaria Walker. It's going to be her first personal, team second. Substitution for the Rebels. Checking in is Ainsley Newitt. Checking out is Abby Carr. Checking out for the Wildcats is Walker, and Hughes. Checking in is Anaya Graves.
And Helm?
And Ariel Helm.
I really like the way Helm plays. I think she's going to be a great player as the season goes on.
Good drive by the Rebels. Can't complete the basket is Horton. Rebounded by the Wildcats. Here's Jayla Smith. Finds Monica Williams. Right corner. And now she wisely retreats back to the top of the key. Looks at the defense. Is going to reset the offense. She's guarded up top by Sophie Carr. She takes Carr. Finds Helm inside the paint. Can't control it. Gets it back. And gets 2 points. Her first scoring of the third quarter. She's got 4 points.
I love those passes. And they had gone a few possessions in a row there without a shot in the paint. So that was a good possession by LN.
Biscoff comes off a screen, puts up a shot, and is fouled. That foul's going to go on Anijah Graves. That's going to be her second personal foul. Put Biscoff on the line where she had one attempt in that first half. She knocked it down. Does the same with this one here. She's got 4 in this third quarter alone, looking for her 5th. Gets it. So both teams going back and forth here in this third quarter. Wildcats had a 3-point lead at half. It's now down to 1 with under 2 minutes to go in the third.
Yeah, again, Roncalli goes to that 2-3 zone. I feel like now it may be because of fatigue, but I feel like they were a much better defensive team, especially rebounding when they were in the man-to-man defense.
Offensive rebound by the Wildcats leads to a 3 by Jayla Smith. That's no good. Rebounded by Biscoff. Here she comes, Madeline. Realized she didn't have numbers, pulls the ball out. She's guarded up top by Anijah Graves. She passes over to her sister, Savannah Biscoff. She calls out the play, swings over to the far side in the hands of Horton. Horton finds a wide open teammate, drives the lane. Her shot is blocked by Helm. You mentioned how good she is defensively.
Yeah.
We saw it there.
Yeah, I really, really like the way she plays.
Sophie Carr's shot was blocked. Leads to a Jayla Williams layup. Can't complete, though. And now a jump ball is going to be called against Carr and Helm. Possession arrow looks to be staying with the Wildcats as Lanaya Early will check out, and checking in for the Wildcats will be Michaela Washington Cobb.
Yeah, you got under a minute right now left in the third quarter. I think that's probably a little bit too long to hold on to this, but they go back to man-to-man defense. So I like that move by Coach.
Under a minute to go. Graves, left corner three, no good. Rebounded by Smith.
Yep.
But they're saying Smith was out of bounds and came back in to touch the basketball. Nathan, want to give a quick shout-out to the athletic director here at LN.
Oh, he's great.
Mike Penrose. He's been such a great accompanist to us, and he has gave us a great vantage point to see this game and has done everything that we have asked and more. So just want to give a quick shout-out to Mr. Penrose for the hospitality.
Yeah, he was great. It's always nice to come to a school that has a good athletic director.
Three in rhythm. Sydney Horton, her second of the game. Roncalli takes the lead late. 30 seconds to go here in the third.
They come out, and now it's a full quarter of championship-style passes that have purpose to them. So they haven't turned any over like they did last, the first half with lazy passes. So it looks like Coach got into, corrected it before it became a problem all game long.
Jayla Smith step back three is no good. With 2 seconds to go, Nathan.
Yeah.
Sydney Horton has hit a three-pointer now 8 straight games for the Rebels this year. So she is on a little streak, as you want to call. Let's see if Madeline Biscoff can get off a shot here. Half court at the end of the buzzer, no good. And that is how the third quarter ends. 40-38 is our score. Fourth quarter action coming up next. You're listening to Indiana High School Basketball on Indiana SRN.
Cold is just around the corner, and here at Summers Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling,
we're ready for anything.
We care about our craft like we care about our customers.
Our technicians are fully certified
and up to speed on the latest equipment.
Available 24/7, we don't leave anybody in the cold.
That's our top priority.
We don't just work for the company,
we are the company.
So we do the best we can for every one of our customers.
Trust the name you know at Summers Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling.
Summers Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We take pride in your comfort. Just call Summers.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the Indiana SRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Back here at Lawrence North High School, we got Roncalli and LN going at it, starting the fourth quarter, 40-38 Roncalli. As we get back here, looks like we're just going to get right back into the game.
40-38 is our score. Lawrence North controls. They're down 2 as in the hands of Jayla Smith. Anijah Early swings over to her teammate Williams. Little hot potato top of the key, trying to get inside the paint to find Michaela Washington-Cobb. They can't find her. Instead, it goes to Smith, top of the key. Roncalli defense stout early here to start this fourth quarter.
Yeah, this is great. I really think Roncalli is better when they play man-to-man.
Anijah Graves picks up her dribble, and now a turnover for the Wildcats. Nathan, I want to go back to that replay to end that third quarter for the Rebels and just see how in motion they were, which got them this 40-38 lead.
Yeah, again, you have just a confident shooter stepping into a three. And when you have that snap pass and it gets them right in the chest, you can't really, as a shooter, you need it right there to step into it and really get in rhythm. So that was a great job. It's a little thing, but that pass was great to get her going into that shot.
Before Jordan Henniff should make a move towards the basket, she's called for a traveling violation. So a turnover for the Rebels. They still have the lead, 40-38. They're trying to hold on for the last 7 minutes.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. I mean, LN, I really like what they're doing on offense right now.
Williams drives left hand into the basket, no good. Rebounded by the Rebels. Here's Horton. She's knocked down 2 threes. Finds Madeline Biscoff. Drives left-hand baseline. Right-hand layup. No good. Rebounded by Helm.
You just see how strong the girls are from LN. I mean, every single one of them is just so strong going after that ball.
Graves for 3 is short. Rebounded by Madeline Biscoff.
And this is another, I think Roncalli is better with Biscoff leading the charge, starting it with her. As you can see, she nails that jumper. I just think they're in sync better when she brings the ball up.
Extend this lead to 4. And here is Monica Williams trying to find something with this offense for Lawrence North. Double team inside the corner, inside the paint is up and good. No offensive foul called there. Sydney Hughes knocked over the Rebel, and the home or the away faithful wanted a foul call. They don't get it.
Hey, you know what? I like that no call. I thought that was a really good job trying, because let's be honest, she wasn't going to do anything down there. There was a huge size differential. That was all she could do to at least try, and you know, it didn't work.
We'll take a look at that replay, Nathan, for the last possession for the Rebels, or for the Wildcats, excuse me. I mean,
yeah, she
was outside the paint there,
she was moving a little bit. I mean, I like the no call. I do.
Close call, but it does still trim the lead down to 2. As Williams drives, finds Lanaya early in the left corner. Drifts over towards the paint, and before she can get the shot up, a foul is going to be called on the Rebels. We'll see if that foul is going to be on.
Madeline Biscoff.
That's going to be her first personal. She has 19 on the game. Again, comes in averaging 19.8. We'll call it 20.
Ooh.
Step back 3 from Smith. No good. And here come the Rebels. And again, it's those bounce passes that you see are getting stolen. You got to make those crisp passes. Smith takes a turnover, turns it into 2 points, and this game is tied.
You know what? I didn't even mind that pass. I thought it was a decisive, hard pass. That was just a heck of a defensive play.
One-handed board by Sydney Hughes for the Wildcats, looking to regain the lead once again under 5 minutes to go.
This is just an absolute great game by two amazing teams here tonight.
Williams rejects both the screens, drives with the left hand. She is fouled on the way up, and she'll have a chance to give LN the lead once again, as that foul is going to be called on the Rebels. That's going to be Sydney Horton, her third personal.
You know, I think the thing about this game here is I think Roncalli got past the point where they were like, you know, is LN really that much better than us because of what happened last game? You know, it obviously they're hanging around right now, and they're even in the lead a couple times. So it's good for Roncalli's psyche to know, hey, we belong here. We're better than we were last time, and you know, maybe they can get this game taken care of.
They look better than the last time they were on the court. These two teams in a deadlock, 43-42. 4:38 to go in the fourth quarter. Fourth quarter action coming up next here on Indiana SRN.
Hey Mom and Dad, make me proud today. I'm playing a sport I love. I'm probably not going to be pro, or who knows, I may not even play in college. It's a game I love, and my teammates in our community want you to show good sportsmanship. Rude or verbally abusive behavior will not be tolerated today. Instead, cheer loud and be proud of our performance. Be a good role model, and please have fun watching us play. Thank you for practicing good sports momship and sports dadship today at my game.
Alongside Nathan Sutton, I am Charles Benbear. We've got a great game coming down to the wire for you between the Lawrence North Wildcats and the Roncalli Rebels. 43-42 is our score, Nathan, and Roncalli, way different game than last time, where they lost that matchup 61-45. It could still get to that point, I guess, if you want to be an optimistic person, but the way that these two teams are playing right now, Roncalli seems to be in this, and they really do believe they can win this matchup.
Yeah, I think it's past. I mean, being a coach and playing a team that, you know, that you got blown out by before. You always need to have a good start, and I think Roncalli now knows, hey, we can beat this team. We've been hanging around the whole time. So
Williams knocks down 2 free throws, lead back to the Wildcats. Biscoff uses the contact. They're going to call an offensive foul.
You know what? I still like that move. I like that she put the pressure on the official to make that call. Go hard at the rim, make the defense be perfect, and really, and you saw right there, it could have gone either way. Yeah. You know, put pressure on the official, put pressure on the defense, and just go right at it.
So that offensive foul leads to a foul on the other end with the Rebels as well. That's going to go in Sophie Carr. So Rebels already have 5 fouls this quarter. And, a couple more, it's going to lead to a 1-1. You can put Lawrence North on the free throw line with the 1-1 bonus.
Yeah, you got a lot of time left. And like I said, these two teams are really up in each other. I really like how physical it is.
Early with a 3-pointer. Lawrence North extends her lead to 5, and now we're going to see that full-court press.
Oh.
And no foul is called there as it is saved by Lawrence North. Good job there by Monica Williams. Here comes Early. Through the leg, Here comes Helm. Nice pass inside to Hughes, right hand.
The coach is going to have to get a timeout. It's really starting to swing the wrong way. That was a tough no call. I know he's upset about it. It was a tough no call. But we said before, hey, Lawrence North can really score in spurts, especially when they hit threes like that. It's just, it can get away from you fast. So coach needs to, gather them, gather his girls and say, hey, we can score 2. Let's calm it down. There's still the same team we played earlier. We can do this. So I really think Roncalli, while they just under 4 minutes, they're still in it, down by 7.
A quick 6-0 run by the Wildcats leads to a timeout by Coach Tim Gray and the Rebels. Again, you mentioned the spurts. They had this in the first quarter. Did the Wildcats went on a 10-0 run in that in the second quarter, led to them being up by 8. And then you saw them come out with that full-court press, which is exactly what they're doing again. And you can kind of sense that Lawrence North can maybe see and smell some blood in the water, and they want to put this game away right now.
Yeah, they definitely had a spurt there. Again, we kind of called it out at halftime that this has been a game of spurts. Now, I do like the offense a lot better when Madeline Bishkoff is the one bringing it up. As she runs back now, looks like they may run a set play for her.
Horton controls the ball as now passing the corner looking for Madeline Biscoff.
Yeah.
And that's going to be knocked out of bounds by the Wildcats. Possession will stay with the Rebels.
Yeah, so that play right there is designed to attack the zone. So if she goes after the ball, Madeline's got a wide open shot. If she doesn't, it's a wide open layup. So that was a good call coming out of a timeout for Madeline.
She now controls volleyball line. Try to use a left-hand dribble to get past her defender. Drives, loses the ball. Corner 3. Roncalli needs it. Got it.
Hey, there you go.
That is Jordan Hendricks, her first 3-pointer of the game. Makes this a 4-point lead for the Wildcats, 49-45. That's a big shot there.
Yeah, they definitely needed to see the ball go through the hoop.
Smith uses the helm screen, and now a turnover. Here come the Rebels. Carr, right-hand layup. No call for a travel.
Well, it was. I think it was knocked out a little bit there at the very end. You know what? LN's defense has just been so good all night.
It leads to a turnover here. Here's Williams. Finds Early. She drives the lane. No contest. Can't complete the layup, though. And a jump ball is going to be called. Possession here goes for the Rebels. So if you're Roncalli, you're fortunate because you had an opportunity. You didn't get it, but now it comes back to you. And here's that 3 by Roncalli and Jordan Hendricks. And, again, they needed that 3.
They really did. And it's because Bishkoff, she gets all the attention defensively. It's going to open up shots like that. And they need to fall right now.
Here she is. 3, need it, got it.
Wow.
Quick 6-0 run for the Rebels themselves. They're back down to 1 point.
Yeah, this has been great. This has been so good. Again, another, spurt. That was a great timeout by Coach. It was just We got two coaches coaching their butts off, going back and forth, and the girls have just been great defensively on both sides.
There's the defense once again for the Rebels. Here they come, looking for the lead. Madeline drives, left hand, Euro, lefty, no. But she'll have a chance to get the lead back to the Rebels at the line.
You know what? You can just tell her psyche right now. She is intentionally taking over. There she is on her three-pointer. There was no hesitation whatsoever. She is in the zone right now. She's putting Roncalli on her back and saying, look, I'll pass it to you guys if I have to, but if I have a shot, you know I'm taking it.
She had 5 in the third. She has 6 in the fourth. 23 on the game, looking for a 24th point. She's already beaten her year average. She can't complete the 2 free throws, so she at least ties the game. And again, for Biscoff, this is going to be her 7th game this year, scoring over 20 points. As her sister controls the board, now pass off to Madeline. Right hand, drives, top of the key. Horton, she wanted that 3, doesn't take it. Let's see if they use some of this clock here, take some off, and leave limited time for the Wildcats.
I think if nothing else, they just need to get in a good half-court set that they feel comfortable with and snap that ball around.
Horton finally uses her dribbles. She's double-teamed at the top of the key. Now finds Savannah. Got a minute 30 to go here. Picks up her dribble. Finds Carr. Savannah, 3. Roncalli can't get it. Offensive rebound and a jump ball. Should go to the Wildcats' possession. It does.
Yeah.
So the Wildcats now have a chance to take the lead. Minute 19 to go.
Yeah, and you know what I know? Another thing I noticed, we talked about the strength of LN's girls. I every time there's a jump ball, the Roncalli girl ends up on the ground. Did you ever notice that?
Yeah.
I mean, the LN girls are just physically stronger almost across the board.
Looks to be a 30-second timeout by LN. We will go ahead and keep it right here. Nathan, I'm going to have you put on your coaching hat.
Yeah.
Take off the hat you have now. Put on your coaching hat.
It's a good-looking hat.
It is. It is a good hat. If you're Roncalli, you just need one defensive stop.
Yeah.
And then you get the ball back. If you're Coach Gray, what are you telling the Rebels? And if you're on the other end, if you're Coach Giffen, do you hold the ball, run some of this clock down? Do you move your offense?
Well,
what are you telling your team?
Here's the thing: I don't think Roncalli can handle the pressure that LN can throw at them for a full minute. So if they get the ball back soon, and it does depend on what LN does here. If you're LN right here, I would just run your normal offense. Don't worry about the clock. Just run your normal offense. They've gotten quality shots here lately. They just haven't been going down. So. But, they could hold it because I don't think Roncalli cares. They're just going to lay back and stay in their man-to-man defense.
Monica Williams controls, terminates the dribble, finds Early left corner, thought about a 3. Early, Williams, Smith, Hughes, and Helm on the court for the Wildcats. Right now, Williams drives, finds inside the paint. It's stolen by the Rebels, knocked out of bounds. Possession stays with the Rebels.
Yep. That was a great job by Bishkoff, jumping into the lane and knocking that pass off. I know what they were trying to do. Drives to the lane and get the ball to Hughes. Again, Hughes has been that conduit for that offense. Roncalli just doesn't have anybody to match that. So let's see what Roncalli does here. Are they going to chew up most of the clock, or would LN even let them? So good finish we got here.
Biscoff sisters on the court, Savannah and Madeline, accompanied by Horton, Jordan Hendricks, and controlling now on the far side, that is Sophie Carr.
Yeah,
turnover. Smith, right hand, good.
Wow.
And one. Jayla Smith comes up when her team needs it, gets the steal, has a chance for an and one. That foul looks to be on Madeline Biscoff. That's going to be her 3rd personal. If you're Roncalli, there's no need to panic yet. You still have 30 seconds on the clock, only down 2. Even with the made free throw, you still have an opportunity to tie this game.
Yeah, and if you're Madeline, she's asking the referee right now, what else is she supposed to do? Because I don't think she made contact there. But, you got 30 seconds left. You don't need a 3. But, Roncalli can shoot the 3. They've got a few different three-point shooters And, if you're LN, you know what? I wouldn't even get away from the half-court pressure.
Jalen Smith knocks down the free throw. 3-point lead, 25 seconds to go.
Ooh, they're in a 2-3 zone. I don't know about that. I think that they're a better team either putting pressure. If you just sit back, if you're LN and you just sit back and play a 2-3 on this against this offense, I don't know about that. I think that they could either trap or go man-to-man. Here's that play. I don't see any contact at all right there with Madeline. So, LN kind of caught a break and got an extra point. So you got 20 seconds.
Yep.
Would you, if a three's open, sure, go for it. But I still wouldn't be mad to see the ball get to the free throw line, let them facilitate from there if LN comes out in that 2-3.
On the court for the Wildcats, Early, Williams, Smith, Helm, and Hughes. For the Rebels on the court is Carr, both the Biscoff sisters, Jordan Hendricks, and Horton. Horton in the backcourt. She's going to receive the ball. 20 seconds to go in this game. 2-3 zone again being deployed by the Wildcats. Madeline Biscoff, top of the key, looks at the double team, takes some time off the clock.
Yep, now they need a 3.
Right-hand dribble, terminates it, trying to find a teammate, and now another timeout by the Rebels and Coach Gray. Again, he's telling Biscoff you got to move the ball because they're just going to double team you at the top of the key. So now 7 seconds left. Now you mentioned you do need that 3, so now we'll see if Lawrence North pressures that ball. Once you inbound the ball, do they double team, or do they leave you alone for that 3?
Or do they foul? Or do they foul? I mean, if you got under – now, I think 7 seconds is a little bit too much to do that, but you can just foul, and just take the three-pointer completely away from him. Now – and first of all, if anybody, you guys are watching this so you can kind of see, sometimes it's hard to be the best player, right? Every time it seems like Madison goes back to that huddle, Coach Gray has something to say to her. So sometimes it's really difficult to be the best player and carry all that responsibility. And, coaches are always worked up, and, sometimes they just forget to turn down the volume.
Yeah.
So, she gets her shots, but she earns them, that's for sure.
Well, big-time players step up in big-time moments. We'll see if Biscoff or another player for the Rebels can knock down a 3 and send this game into overtime.
Okay, so now they're pressuring. I hope they called a play down here in the corner. If you get it up there, they could foul and take the three-pointer away from you. Get it to a spot where you can catch and shoot. See, now I would just foul if I'm LN. 5
seconds to go. Finds Madeline Biscoff, top of the key. Stops. 3.
That's
they call foul. Wow. With
0.1
.1 seconds left, a foul is called, and Madeline Biscoff has an opportunity to drain 3 free throws and send this game into overtime.
Talk about pressure, man. We just talk about what, being the best player, what that carries for you. Let's see. She drains it first. It looks good.
And normally you don't really call those fouls. Second one is no. It is good. It is good. Excuse me. I thought that kind of rolled out.
We need. Oh, and there's the ice. They're gonna ice Madison. And if the ball comes off, they can't get a rebound and score. There's 0.1. So I don't even think a tip could get off here. But that was close, I think, to maybe being in, her foot on the line. But that was a great job of knowing, hey, I used my crossover. I didn't get the separation I needed, so I'm going to jump into the defender, and she got the call. Which, honestly, she deserved that because the couple possessions before, she did not touch the player, Smith, that was driving. So yeah, it's all down to 1 free throw for Madison. And honestly, if I have a timeout left, if I'm LN, I take it again.
Biscoff is 68% free throw shooter coming into today's game. She's made all but 1 free throw. This right here for overtime. Dribbles. No good! No good, and the ice for Coach Giffen works, and that is how this game ends. 52-51, and you can see the frustration on her face, and the Rebels drop a heartbreaker, 52-51.
I will say this. when she was shooting those shots, the first two, she looked completely comfortable. After the timeout, it was really she was shaking. I mean, you could tell she was nervous. Now, what we just saw Jayla Smith go over to Madeline Bishkoff and words were exchanged. It looked like some great sportsmanship was going on right there, and you love to see that after a game like this.
So, again, just to kind of reiterate, a three-point attempt was fouled for Bishkoff. She had an opportunity to send this game into overtime, made 2 free throws, and if you want to blame that on me, the broadcaster's jinx, I guess I'll take responsibility for that. She leaves the last free throw short, and this game ends 52-51. She does lead all scorers in this game with 25 points, and just what a game, Nathan, for both teams. Roncalli played much better than they did that first matchup. They held with it. They stuck with the Wildcats. And honestly, this game should be heading into overtime.
Yeah, I was really hoping that she would hit that because I'm pretty sure we get paid extra if it goes into overtime. So, but no, you know what? What a great game, and it's a heartbreak that somebody has to lose something like that. Because both teams they really went at it, and I don't mean to harp on it, but man, that 1 point on the foul that got called. With Smith going to the line making the 3-point play, that really came back to bite Roncalli, who played a great team game, I think. I like their offense. I like their ball movement. Their passes could have been a little bit better in the first half. I thought the second half they did a great job on it. I think the key of the game, though, was the rebounds. I think LN was able to get to the boards better on a more consistent basis. So I think that if you were the coach, so if I put my coach's hat back on, I think if you're Coach Gray, you need to start working on the boards. Now, they don't have the bodies like LN had, but you need to work on positioning and getting up and getting those boards.
Leading scorer again for the game is Madeline Bishkoff, 25 points. Other scores for her teammates, Sydney Horton had 9 points. Jordan Hendricks had 5 totals. Her sister Savannah had 2. Sophie Carr had 4. Abby had 5. And again, Horton had 9 to lead to 51 points. For the Wildcats, they were led in scoring by Jayla Smith. She had 20 points, also in double figures, along with 3. Sydney Hughes had 11. Monica Williams had 10. Lanaya Early had 5. Ariel Helm had 4. And Shamaria Walker had 2 points. Well, that's how this game ends. Heartbreak for the Rebels. Triumph for the Wildcats. They were down early, came back, and led this game in the second half. Ended up winning by 1, 52-51. On the cameras, we want to give a shout-out to Chance Middleton. Thank you for your hard effort. Our producer, Casey Pierce, appreciate you and your hard-working efforts tonight. And my broadcast partner, Nathan Sutton. I'm Charles Benberry saying thanks for tuning in tonight, and have a good night. Again, you're listening to Indiana High School Basketball on Indiana SRN.